Now, here's the deal. It's so hard to get to know someone when there are so many lies being thrown around. And it's hard to understand why this 2016 presidential race is like no other that we've ever seen. I know some people claim to think they know all the answers, most of the time because they read it on the internet. That's a problem. And this is why I asked the GOP frontrunner in this campaign, Donald J. Trump, to join us right here on The Rich Stevens Show. Mr. Trump, congratulations on the huge wins last night, and welcome to The Rich Stevens Show.
Thank you very much, Rich. Great honor.
Listen, thanks for taking the time out of your crazy schedule to be with us today. Has all this craziness surprised you at all?
Well, a little bit, I'll be honest. I thought that I would do fine. I didn't know that I'd have, these commanding leads, and, we have such big leads. Yesterday was amazing. The people of Mississippi, the people of Michigan, was landslides, and Mississippi was almost 50%, and a win by so much over everybody else. So and Michigan also. So I don't think I knew. I don't think I ever envisioned this kind of a thing. And also, the biggest story in all of politics, all over worldwide, is how many people are coming to vote in the various primaries. And as you know, it's millions and millions of people more are voting now than voted 4 years ago, and frankly, than ever voted. Nobody's ever seen primaries like this, where lines are 5 blocks long. So it's really been very exciting and very gratifying.
I got to tell you, a lot of people that listen to the Rich Stevens Show support you, but I also have to tell you that I know because of my posts on social media that a lot of people are listening right now that are undecided. I want you to talk to them, Mr. Trump, and why should you be their choice?
Well, I think what happened, Rich, when I first decided to do this, I was looking at the Iran deal. I was looking at all of the tremendous stupidity of our government and our leadership, the incompetence, the things that we were doing, giving $150 billion to Iran and getting nothing for it. And we shouldn't have even negotiated until we had our prisoners back, as an example, and we would have done that very easily. But the gross incompetence, the trade deals are so bad. We're losing $500 billion a year with China. Hard to believe. It's just not even believable, but these are the numbers. And we're losing $58 billion a year with Mexico, and they kill us on the border, and they just absolutely destroy us on the border with what's going on. And they're destroying us with trade. They're taking so many of our businesses. And you look at Japan with the cars pouring in, and yet massive trade deficits. And, so trade is a disaster. Our military is absolutely in terrible shape. And we're at a point we can't even beat ISIS. And we have to rebuild our military and make it great again and make it modern again. And we have to do that. We have no choice. And people hear this, Obamacare is going to be repealed and replaced. Common Core is horrible. We have education coming out of Washington, D.C. by bureaucrats, and education should be local. And we're doing very poorly in education worldwide. We're considered absolutely one of the lowest, and it's hard to believe. Countries that you've never heard of us are doing better than we do. So, Rich, with all of these things that I bring up and others, I went to number one in the polls, and I stayed there.
Now, listen, you're a huge supporter of law enforcement, and,
yes.
Thank you for that. South Florida law enforcement supports you wholeheartedly.
Good. Yes, I am.
And they thank you for standing up for law enforcement. But how are we going to fix these problems with so many cops being shot and even worse, killed? There was another cop shot in Brooklyn yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know, but when I was up in New Hampshire, and I won in New Hampshire, but I met with some of the police up there, great people, and I think I'm being supported uniformly by the police. Even when I land, I have officers there that give their time, not for pay, to take me into town and make sure everything's perfect. These are incredible people that are absolutely mistreated. It's very unfortunate. But I call for the death penalty for anybody shooting a police officer. And we could do that on a federal basis. We could do it on any basis they want. But, you'll have these guys walk up to a police car and shoot him in the back of the head when nobody's around, and this is happening more and more, and it's disgraceful. So I actually called for the death penalty for anybody shooting a police officer, and the various law enforcement agencies, all of New England supports me. I mean, massive numbers of police, and every time I'm with the police, they all thank me. So something's going on, but I think that was forget about popular thing to do. I don't care about popular. It's the right thing to do. So I just did that recently.
Absolutely. Now listen, we're talking to Donald J. Trump. Mr. Trump, I can't stand how these idiots are all over you for this Trump University thing. I don't understand why the mainstream media isn't attacking all universities. And let me give you an example. I got a friend in Denver, graduated with a 4-year degree, and he works at Subway. Now, he's not suing the university because there's no guarantees. Am I missing something here? I mean, some people spend $80,000 a year for 4 years, and they have jobs paying $35,000. Why aren't we hearing those stories?
You know, we have a very high rating. This is a law firm that brought a class action lawsuit because some people wanted to get their money back. The people that want to get their money back, almost all of them have signed signed documents saying how great it is, how they love it. Somebody came up to them and said, hey, 2 years later, would you like to get your money back? And they say, yeah, sure. It's one of those deals. And I could have settled it, and frankly, it would have been very much easier, but I'm not a settler because once you settle cases, Rich, you get sued by everybody. They just come at you in waves, so I never settle. I do settle on occasion, but rarely do I settle cases. And this was a good school that did a good job. People were happy, but they all signed letters. Most of them signed letters on the back. What did you think of the courses? And you have no idea. Ratings, I think it's 98% of the people gave fantastic ratings. And it's really a shame that because of my position, the high-profile position, and because of the fact I've had such success, they use this like as a thing for commercials, and it really is a disgrace. In fact, two of the people, they had these two people doing a commercial, and two of the people that were saying, oh, it was so bad, they signed letters saying everything was excellent. They gave it excellent plus. So they gave it great ratings, and then somebody tells them, hey, you can get your money back. They say, why not? Let's see if I can get, and they end up in commercials knocking me. It's a disgrace, actually.
It is. It's horrible. And of course, here in Florida, you're in Florida, I'm assuming, still?
Yes, I'm in Florida right now.
So the commercials are horrendous, and the millions of dollars that's being wasted on this crap. But let me ask you this. Are you aware of the primary ballots, not only here in Florida, but all over the country, that still have 13 candidates' names on it? I mean, this is unfair to you, and it's very, very confusing for so many people.
Yeah, they have primary ballots, and they have a lot of names on it. But wouldn't that be also equally bad for other people that are still in the race? I mean, from that standpoint, I don't know why they don't correct the ballots, but I've seen it where they have 13 names on it. And because of the T, I think my name's down toward the back.
Yeah, you're at the bottom of the list. Yeah,
I agree. It's unfair. A number of people have pointed that out, and they'll have Jeb Bush and all these people that dropped out. Their names are all over the ballot. People don't even know.
I know, it's disgusting because there's votes going for these people, and somebody seeing the ballot, especially here in South Florida. Let's not kid ourselves. There's always confusion here.
Yeah.
What's been the most frustrating part of this campaign for you so far?
Well, I think the fact that we're doing so well, and yet I'm fighting this establishment is, they're so upset that somebody's coming in. I'm not taking money. I don't want any money. I'm funding my own campaign, which is expensive, but I'm funding my own campaign. And I'm not going to be controlled by the special interests. The special interests, the lobbyists and all, they're giving millions of dollars to Rubio, who's a total lightweight, by the way. They're giving millions and millions of dollars to Rubio and all these guys to do ads like that. And, because they have total control over a guy like Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz. They are totally controlled by the special interests. They're totally controlled by the lobbyists. And they're controlled by their donors, the people that give them money. And I'm not controlled by anybody but the people themselves because, I'm not accepting money. So the oil and gas industry, nobody controls me. I'm going to do what's right for the country. They hate it. The people that you see doing these ads because they're not going to have any control and they're not going to make the money. The people that are going to make the money are the people that I am. In other words, I'm representing the people of this country, and you can't do that well if you have all of these people pouring money into your campaign and you owe them favors, and that's what's happened. So we have a lot of people against me, and they're special interest people. And that's okay. And amazingly, the voters figured it out because I had landslide victories last night. I mean, even in Hawaii, I won with a big number. But I had big victories last night with all of this. I think they spent $32 million on ads. and yet I had big victories. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, and big is being kind. I mean, we're talking landslide victories, over 50%. It's just incredible.
It's an amazing thing with all the horrible ads, and they're false ads, too. But with all of those ads, it's sort of an amazing thing.
And I'm told they're going to get even worse over the next few days before we lead up to Tuesday's primary here in Florida.
Yeah, probably. They ought to save their money.
Listen, if you need a couple bucks, by the way.
Okay, I'll get it for you. It's a good idea.
Mr. Trump, if you could pick anyone in the world to be your neighbor, who would that be and why?
Well, always my parents. I mean, I had two wonderful parents, no longer with us, but I had two wonderful parents. So I would say always my parents, nobody close.
What about an embarrassing moment? What's your most embarrassing moment?
Well, I've had some. I mean, embarrassing is when they say bad things about me that aren't true in ads. I mean, when they spend $30 million, like the last couple of weeks, they spent $30 million on ads. And, I've got a family watching television, and my boy says, "Why do they say those bad things about you, Daddy?" In its own way, that's embarrassing. And they're false ads. They're not true. So, I'm not sure that I love that.
Yeah, it's embarrassing for the country, as a matter of fact. If they were going to make a movie about your life, Mr. Trump, who would you want to play you?
Well, it wouldn't be Darrell Hammond, as good as he does on Saturday Night Live, right? But he does do good on Saturday Night Live. I can't think of anybody. I mean, I know that they oftentimes they say they're going to do that. I know somebody that wanted to do it was Alec Baldwin a long time ago, and he always said, "I want to play you when they do a movie." But it's something I never think of. I'm thinking about one thing now, Rich. I'm thinking about getting this deal closed. I'm a closer, and I like to close it up. And Marco had a really bad night, and Ted Cruz didn't have a good night. And and of course Kasich had a horrible night. He said to everybody he was going to win Michigan, and he didn't win Michigan. So now he says he's going to win Ohio. But I want to get this deal closed up.
Mr. Trump, is there something that would surprise people that we don't know about you?
Yeah, I'm a nice person, actually. I love people. I want to help people. And, you read these stories, you think he's a terrible person. No, I'm a nice person. I like helping people, which is why I'm running, because I didn't need to do this. Believe me, it's tough, and it's not, it's nasty. It's really nasty.
How does Donald Trump relax?
By working. I'm a worker. I wouldn't be Obama, where he goes away so much. I mean, I'm a person that really relaxes by working. I enjoy working. I like what I do. I have always enjoyed working. So, in a way, that's a bigger form of relaxation for me than taking a vacation.
Listen, if you would indulge me, can we play a little word association? I'll give you a word, and you tell me the first thing that pops in your head?
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
All right, Florida.
Beautiful.
Ice cream.
Delicious.
Puppet.
Rubio.
How about business?
Fun.
Hands.
Strong.
Marco.
Controlled.
Hillary.
Troubled.
Mr. Trump, you are just an amazing person. And listen, before I let you go, and I appreciate you taking time to be with us on the Rich Stevens Show. Hopefully we get you in the studio sometime soon.
Sure.
Could you do me a personal favor?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that you would do this for me today. In honor of me following you on Facebook, on Twitter, do you think you could follow me back at Rich Stevens on Twitter? Would you do that for me?
Yeah, I'll work that out. I'll see if I can get that done, Rich. Okay?
I tell you what, just hit that follow back button and you'd make my day.
Okay.
Mr. Trump,
I will.
I appreciate your time and all the best of luck, and anything we can do for you, please don't hesitate to give us a call.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support, too. It's really been great.
Thank you.
I've heard a lot about it. Thanks a lot, Rich.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. Bye.
Thank you. That's Donald Trump. Sounded like a great guy to me.
Trump is on our side. Yes, he is. Trump is on our side.
And the good thing is, he actually answered every question. The question will be now is, will Donald Trump follow me back on Twitter? You're listening to The Rich